Cuba is fighting for their freedom. This is the first time in 62 years that they've thrown themselves out in the street in masses. It's never been seen before.
We're protesting for the people in Cuba who are on the streets. And if they're going to be on the streets, we're all going to be on the streets.
So what are they fighting for?
They are fighting for a change, for changes in the government.
I also want to say that in Cuba there are many young people oppressed by the government, and we need that their young people has to be free.
All right, what's up, guys? It's your favorite shadow band YouTuber. We're here at a Cuban freedom protest. There's a lot of pretty faces around here. I'm not one of them. Anyway, we're gonna get to talking to some people. Like the video, share it all over your social media, and let's go.
Knowing that we'll probably
So can I ask you, what does freedom mean to Cubans?
I don't like it.
Or to anyone in general?
What does freedom mean to Cubans? It means having the right to express themselves through culture, music, politically, and just having the right to be free and do whatever that they feel they want to do instead of have to do.
My cameraman's looking for a date. Do you know anyone?
No.
Alina.
So what are we doing here today?
We're protesting for the people in Cuba who are on the streets. And if they're going to be on the streets, we're all going to be on the streets.
So what does freedom mean to the Cubans?
To the Cubans, freedom is just having the right to speak their mind, you know? Not being in control of a dictator. Equality. Equality is what the people want and what they deserve.
So how do you feel about Joe Biden basically saying, don't come here, to the refugees?
I feel like he should be doing more. There's a lot more that he could be doing, you know? And it's just not right. They're suffering over there. They have no means of getting in contact with us, and that's just wrong. You know, we need intervention. That's my opinion.
Anything else you want to add?
Viva Cuba! We all need to support. Patria y vida.
Si pierde el Congreso, porque los cubanos votamos y todos los latinos votamos republicanos y no demócratas, y los amenazamos, esos hijos son políticos. Los políticos venden el alma. Entonces, ellos le hacen falta a los pueblos. Todas las medidas que los aplicaron, yo estoy de acuerdo con eso.
What's up? What's your name?
Amalia.
Nice name. What's going on here today?
We are protesting, demanding freedom for the Cuban people. Especially human rights. All that comes with freedom for the Cuban people.
Yeah. So what are they fighting for?
They are fighting for a change, for changes in the government, that Cubans can have all the like the rights and the everything that everybody else in the world have.
I'm nervous right now. Cuba is fighting for their freedom. This is the first time in 62 years that they've thrown themselves out in the street in masses. It's never been seen before. They're starving. All they're asking for is their freedom. They want their freedom.
So what does that look like? What would freedom in Cuba look like?
Well, having internet for number one, being able to have a First Amendment and a Second Amendment right. They are right now. They're an oppressed country. Like, we need them to come out. And the only reason we know what's happening, this has been happening for years in Cuba. Number one, the only thing we have now that's different is the internet and the phones. But you have to understand, these people have been oppressed for very, very much years. We're just seeing it now, but it's been going on for 60 years.
I like your glasses. Yeah. So how do you feel about Joe Biden telling the refugees not to come here?
I mean,
Actually, we're okay. We don't want that because that's not what they want. They don't want to leave their home. They want
freedom. Yes, it's not about. They want freedom. They just want the dictator that's been there for 60 years, that they haven't had a chance to vote, to get out of there. Just leave. You know, they've been oppressed for too many years, and it's time for them to get their freedom back.
Anything you guys want to add?
I have a film called Niña Cubana. Make sure you guys check it out. It's basically talking about this whole situation. I filmed it there 2 years ago. And basically, you know, it's Cuba Libre. That's what we're fighting for. And that's something that I've been advocating for a very long time. So check it out. My name is Tammy Torres. NiñaCubana.com.
Okay, get out the street now. Cars don't gotta move.
I'm Veronica.
What's going on here today?
We are fighting for Cuba. We want to let the American people know that we want peace. We need to share our voice with the people. There's so much going on in Cuba. We have our fellow Cubans. They are out in the streets, and so we're out in the streets too.
So how do you feel about Joe Biden's DHS chief or whatever telling the refugees not to come here?
They know they'll vote Republican, so they don't want them. Yes.
Who does your hair? I like your hair.
Myself.
Really?
Buzz cut, and now it's growing.
Nice. Why did you buzz it off?
Because my grandma died, and I'm mourning.
Right. So how do you feel about Joe Biden telling the refugees not to come here?
I don't know. I don't know about that because it's I prefer not to comment on that. Because there's a lot of pressure in that I don't know about, and I really don't understand the policies that they are having. But also, I know for a fact that U.S. cannot intervene in Cuba because of they have a pact with Russia, and if they intervene in Cuba, it's going to be a war with Russia and possibly a World War III, and nobody wants that. That's like atomic bombs, and it's a dangerous situation for the whole world. So Cubans have to get together and fight inside the island and fight for what they deserve and get it. For once and for all.
We're asking for justice and liberty, freedom for Cuba.
Right. So what does freedom look like in Cuba?
There is none.
I mean, what are they fighting for?
Says that's what rules.
Right. So what are they fighting for?
For freedom. For also they're starving. They don't have medicine, but that's not their main goal. Their main goal is freedom. The freedom of speech, their freedom of living life.
So how do you feel about Joe Biden's government telling the refugees not to come here?
Our goal isn't for them to come here, in my opinion, because it will not change anything in Cuba. And we want change in Cuba for the people to be free.
Anything you want to add?
I'm very happy that my mom, who came here in 1965 and escaped, is able to see such a big turnout that never before has been seen. So I'm so glad she was able to be a part of this.
I escaped from Cuba in 1965 and in a boat with my 5 people. And they rescued us, and we are here in the United States.
Awesome. We're glad you're here.
Thanks.
I also want to say that in Cuba there are many young people oppressed by the government, and we need that their young people has to be free. Okay, this is important things.
They are putting on the people that are being catching by the government. They are criminals or whatever. They are not criminals. We are here, and none of us, we are not criminals. And also I want to say, people from university, students, they are being catched. They are being getting to jail just to to express what they feel, what they need. It's freedom. It's nothing but that, freedom.
So what do you feel about Joe Biden saying, don't come here, the refugees?
Okay, first of all, he has to show up. He has to say something, That's first of all. If he doesn't want to come here from Cuba, he needs to do something now, because Cubans are dying. They're giving away their lives, not for food or internet. So he needs to pay attention to that,
Hey guys, can I ask you a couple questions? Yeah, you? Okay, so what's going on here today?
Well, we're just here trying to show our support for everybody in Cuba that's out in the street fighting for their lives, for basic human rights.
So what are those rights that they're fighting for right now?
Just basic freedom, voting rights. You speak Spanish? No, but you can. Okay. No, they live there for over 40 years. They'll give you a little bit more. En español lo puedes decir.
Estamos peleando pidiendo la libertad para todos los cubanos. Nosotros vivimos allá yo viví por 40 años, él por 44 años y siempre estuvimos oprimidos. No nos dejaron pensar, no nos dejaron expresarnos. Todo es limitado, no hay alimentos, no hay medicina, hay opresión. Están matando niños, están golpeando personas en la calle simplemente por expresar sus deseos de ser libre y su forma de pensar diferente a la de ellos.
So can I ask you, what do you feel about Biden basically saying for the refugees not to come here?
I feel like he should definitely go ahead and give us political asylum like we had a couple years back, which him and the Obama administration took off, because it's not in every single country like in Cuba that people are genuinely getting killed just for asking for basic freedom, like just for rights that we have here. And I think it's very, very inhumane. It's really heartbreaking. I lived there for 8 years of my life. So I think that he definitely should. I think that he should be giving refugees to those Cubans.
So how do you feel about Joe Biden basically saying to the refugees, don't come?
I don't want to speak too much on.
Okay. So what does freedom mean to Cubans?
To Cubans, I mean stopping communism, allowing them to even the basic necessities, food and shelter and.
Yeah. So do you want America to go communism or socialist?
No.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
Well, this is my family.
Okay.
We're all here together supporting Cuba.
You go.
This is for the Cuban people in Cuba that are being persecuted. Communism doesn't work, and we're just supporting the people that are not being fed. They don't have shelter, they don't have food, they don't have money. There's no freedom of speech, no freedom of expression. So we're just supporting our Cuban community throughout the world. Here, Miami, even though we're outside of Cuba, we're supporting our culture.
So how do you feel about our government telling the Cuban immigrants, the refugees, not to come here? Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. I don't want to get into the political part about it, but yeah, I think we should help them if we can, medically through vaccines, but I'm not sure about how much help we can do without the government taking it. Yeah.
So what does freedom in Cuba look like to you guys?
First off, starting with freedom of speech, freedom to have food and provide for your family.
I'd say the same, freedom to just voice their opinion and fair elections.
Yeah. Anything you want to add?
God bless America.
Exactly. God bless America.
Thanks.